everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a tutorial showing you guys how to make your very own shirts using HTV, and all you need is your Cricut or some sort of die cutting machine, but in this specific video I will be using the Cricut Air Explore that you see behind me. So before we get started, I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit and give you guys somewhat of a rundown on the vinyl. So this specific vinyl is not permanent vinyl. This is HTV, also known as heat transfer vinyl, or you can sometimes see it as iron-on vinyl. I use this Siser brand. I will link everything down below to make everything simple for you guys. You can purchase this at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, any craft store really. I personally like to get mine on jpiblanks.com because they have a much better deal, kind of like a bulk sale deal, if you're trying to do this as a business. Now, if you just want to practice one time and, you know, just make a couple shirts for family, I totally recommend getting some at Michael's first, just to like make sure you know what you're doing before you go purchase a big order on JPI Blanks. So the specific style of shirt that I'm using, this is just like a crew neck t-shirt. This is by Bella and Canvas, which you can get on jiffyshirt.com, or I think it's onlineclothing.com. I'll list a few different wholesale places where you can get your shirts. I definitely recommend buying them there because they're much cheaper. So when you first order the shirts, they kind of look like this. So this color is blue or some sort of, it's kind of like an aqua color, and they'll come like that. Or you can get a different style. You don't need to get Bella Canvas. You can get pretty much any style. When you're doing HTV, you don't need to focus on getting like polyester or cotton. At least that I know of. I've tried both. It's much easier to work with like cotton shirts or cotton and polyester. But I have done either or, and I haven't seen a problem so far. I've also used this other brand called Ideal or Next Level. And then I've put vinyl on it. Now this is a different set of vinyl, guys. This is a DTF. This is a direct transfer. This is much different. I already bought this design like this, like it came printed out, for example, like this, and it looks like that in the back, and you just press these onto the shirt. But in order to do a DTF, you need to have a heat press. For this, you don't need a Cricut, you don't need anything. I could do a whole separate video on this for you guys if you want, but I will link down the shop below where I purchased these. I will also be selling these pretty soon on my own, but for now you guys can go ahead and just purchase them from, she actually has her business card in here, from Wild and Gorgeous Transfers. So super cool that her name is Wild, just like mine is Wild Talk Creations. So yeah, you guys can even use the 10% code as well. That's right there. I think it says Wild Babes at checkout. So yeah, she sells these and they're amazing. It's kind of like my first time purchasing from her. And I think these are cool because you don't need a layer or anything like that. And that's the beauty in it. But for simple designs, such as the one that I'm currently wearing right now, this Grinch one, this is so simple. You could just do this yourself and weed it out. But for full color images, it's much different. So I definitely recommend you guys checking her out. They are such high quality, as you can see. And I've already like washed this shirt and everything, but for the sole purpose of this video, I am just going to be showing you guys how I do the HTV to not confuse you guys. But if you want to see another video on DTF transfers, I can totally do that, because that's a whole separate thing, very similar but separate. So today we're just going to focus on doing this shirt, and we're going to be putting a design on it, and yeah, so let's jump into that. I normally get my designs off of Etsy. I always type in the keyword SVG, or you could type in mom SVG or women SVG, and you just find whatever design you like. You make sure it's a digital file and not a physical item. I always check the reviews, and normally after purchasing, the seller will always list some instructions on how to download your file. For the purpose of today's video, I'm going to be using a design I already have, and I will link it down below. Now, for sizing your design, I always recommend 9.5 or 10 for adult shirts and 4.5 or 6 for toddler shirts. But of course, that's totally up to you depending on how big you want the design on your shirt to be. Now, I'm going to show you how to upload your SVG that you're going to download off of Etsy. You're going to want to go to Upload, Browse Files, then a Dropbox will appear, but for some reason it didn't appear on my end. And then you just select your file, upload it. I always press Complex, and I always delete any white background that I see on my image, but on here there is none. I move on. And then I save it as a cut image, not a print then cut, because that is for stickers, guys. So then I upload it to my canvas and then it's ready to go. But for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to be doing the motherhood image. I'm going to be doing the mama. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, but that way you guys can see. Always save your projects, guys. It is very annoying if you don't save it and then it gets deleted. So save your projects. And then I always go ahead and move on and mirror my image. This is definitely a must, so make sure that your mirror is always on when doing shirts or sweaters or crew necks. Then I'm going to select my base material, which is going to be Everyday Iron-On. I always apply the pressure under more, but of course that depends on your needle and everything like that. So then I'm going to go ahead and get my material ready to go and get it loaded onto the Cricut Mats so that it can start cutting. Always make sure your vinyl is shiny side down. As you can see, the matte side is facing me. And then after that, you just want to, cut out the correct amount that you're going to be using for your design. Ignore the way that I cut this. I'm still trying to learn how to use that elf cutter. And then you just squeegee it out to make sure there's no bubbles. And then you go ahead and just load that onto your machine. Once your Cricut cuts out your design, you want to begin the weeding process. I start by pulling the vinyl matte side up. I'll begin to pull it little by little. Don't be afraid to tug at it just to start revealing the elements of your design as you see me doing here. You'll slowly start to see my design come in. Then after that, you want to go ahead and grab your weeding tool. You want to have a good one. I got mine from Hobby Lobby, but you can also get yours from Amazon. I will link a few down below. And you want to start weeding the extra little tiny pieces in between the letters, such as mama or blessed. I always recommend looking at your reference photo when doing this so that you don't weed out the wrong pieces of your design. I have done that in the past, and if you do it, it's okay. Don't worry, practice makes perfect. Now we can go ahead and press our design down onto our shirt. I'm going to show you how to use this heat press I got from heatpressnation.com, and in the next clip I'll show you how to use the Cricut EasyPress. I always set my heat press at 320 for 10 seconds. I preheat it first, and then I go ahead and lay down my shirt to get any wrinkles out, and I also use a lint roller just to get any extra fibers out of the shirt before I lay down my design. Then once that's all done, I go ahead and get my design ready, lay it down and center it as best as I can using a ruler to measure that it's not too much to the right or too much to the left, and I always go 4 inches down from the collar. Then I'm going to place my Teflon sheet that's going to help protect my design and go ahead and press it down for the 10 seconds. And once that's done, you want to go ahead and remove your Teflon sheet while it's hot and peel back, and there's your design, guys, and it's all ready to go. When using my Cricut EasyPress, I set it at 315 degrees for 30 seconds. I go ahead and preheat that, and in the meantime, I clear my area and lay down my heat press pillow / mat. You always want to make sure you have something underneath your shirt. You cannot just press it onto your ground or table. Once that is done, I go ahead and lay my shirt flat. I lint roll it to remove any fibers. And once my EasyPress has heated up, I go ahead and remove any wrinkles before laying down my design. I lay down my design using a ruler and I go 4 inches down, same way as I did earlier. and I try my very best to center it. I always love to use my Cricut EasyPress on the ground because it's all about the pressure you guys apply. The difference between the heat press you saw earlier and the Cricut EasyPress is really the pressure. The pressure that you apply will help the vinyl stick to the fibers of the shirt and really just be embedded into the shirt. So I recommend that you try to apply a lot of your weight when using your Cricut EasyPress so that, you know, you make sure it sticks down. I press it for 30 seconds and then I press it for an additional 30 seconds and I kind of move around the press just to make sure that I really got every side of the vinyl onto the shirt. Sometimes if you peel it back and you notice that your vinyl is still stuck to your transfer tape and not your shirt, just go ahead and keep pressing it down until it is, and then you want to remove your Teflon sheet, and then you can go ahead and peel back your design and your shirt is ready to go. Everyone, that's a wrap on this video. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I hope that you learned something new. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!